Are you taking the steps to become the game changers, to become the dream maker, to become the trendsetter in your life? This is the time that you have to take ownership of your life. You have to become the master of your mind. You must develop your master plan for success. Today I want to give you a number of tips and techniques that will help to transform your life from being average to becoming a person who can embrace exceptional success. But I must say this to you as before we even start this program, that to become the best brand of yourselves, there's two things that I want you to keep in mind. And that is, you must have a desire, but it's not just having a desire, it is having what I call aligned desire. As you go through my program and as you listen more and more to my program, you will find that I'm talking a lot about aligned desire, because your desire for success must be in complete alignment with your DSS, your deeper sense of self. I'm not going to get too complex today, but I just want you to hold these thoughts in your mind. Your DSS is something that helps you to connect with your purpose, to connect with your passion, and to connect with your gifts. And the reason that I'm saying that is because research has shown that people function better in every area of their lives when they understand their purpose, their passion, and their gifts. And once you create that alignment, I want to assure you that you will be setting the stage for massive explosion, positive explosion to take place in your life. And I want to give you those tools and those techniques. Of course, these concepts are very new. I also want to talk to you about the importance of you understanding what is taking action. But then it's not just action, it's informed action. You know, there are so many people out there who are taking action to make great things happen in their lives, but they continue to make the 180-degree turn, the 190-degree turn. You know, you want to know that once you begin to take action in your life to affect change, that you can embrace those change because you're using proven practical systems that will deliver the tangible results that you want. So if you have a business and your business is at one stage of development, but you want to take it to the other stage of development, you want to be certain that the steps that you're going to be taking, they are proven steps, and they are steps that will give you the success that you want. I want to assure that the new systems that we're now introducing to you, it will expand your vision, open your ideas, and it will give you the tools and the techniques to take you to that next stage of development in your life. So the two things that you must keep in mind as you listen to this program is, one, aligned desire, and two, informed action. The third thing that I'm going to just throw in here for you is that you must be committed to your dreams, to your hopes, and to your aspirations. You must be committed. Now today I want to throw out a topic, and that topic is the traits and characteristics of the proactive leader. I want you to make a commitment right here and right now that you will become the proactive leader. And in becoming the proactive leader, you will become the best brand of yourselves. So right here and right now, I want us to start looking at what I call some of the traits of the proactive leader. You know, one of those essential characteristics of the proactive leader is that a proactive leader is one who innovates and acts on new ideas. You know, and this, let me put it this way to bring some more clarity to you. A proactive leader, one of those traits are he or she innovates and act on new ideas and concepts. And what exactly do I mean by this? These individuals are individuals who identify new product ideas, identify new service ideas. But the concept here is not just looking at these ideas and taking no action. They actively go after new ideas, new innovation, new products, and new services, and they commit their energy into ensuring that they can make those new products and new services become something of substance, to become something that is relevant to people's needs and hopes and aspirations. And they innovate those products and those services, and they leverage it to satisfy people's desire. So it's important that you understand these traits, but you can't be stuck by just understanding. You must be able to nurture aligned desire, and you must be able to take informed action as it relates to these new innovation of products and services. You need to know that you are the innovator. You are the proactive leader who are innovating new products and new services. Why? Because it gives your organization an opportunity to differentiate itself from the competition. Yes, when you can differentiate in alignment with your DSS, when you can differentiate in alignment with people's needs and hopes and aspirations, when you can differentiate based on being market sensitive and being market oriented, you are setting the stage for something new, something significant, for your business to expand and grow and become something different. You're now setting the stage to become beyond average, because now instead of reacting, you are proacting. You must set the tone to become a proactive leader in business. So this is one of the first traits that I want you to think about, and I want you to listen and re-listen to this tape so you can really understand what are those traits of the proactive leader. The second trait that I want you to look at is number 2, is the proactive leader identifies a vision and a clear path to attain success. Yes, these are traits of the proactive leader. The proactive sees beyond the problem. The proactive leader take action to affect desired results in his or her life. It is essential for you to identify a vision and have a clear path to attain that dream that you have for yourself. Many of you would have heard me said before that if you can measure it, you can monitor it. And if you can monitor it, you can control it. What I'm saying in other words is that if you don't have a clear vision, and that vision is clearly timelined, and all the factors relevant to attaining those visions are not adequately looked at, it simply means that you are not in that position of strength to measure it. And if you can measure it, you can monitor it. And if you can monitor it, you cannot control it. And this is one of the main reasons why most people fail in attaining the big idea, the big vision that they have for themselves, because they are not creating the environment where you can measure, where you can control the aspect, the step-by-step approaches in terms of realizing your dream, in terms of breathing life into your dreams and your hopes and your aspiration. So these are essential traits and characteristics of the proactive leader that you must be able to now internalize and apply to your day-to-day management of your business, because these techniques these are what will help you to come to that next stage of growth and development in your life. Your vision plan must not only take into consideration what is it that you want to accomplish, but your vision statement, your vision plan must also take into consideration your threats, It's what we call doing the SWOT analysis. You need to understand the strength of your competition, the weaknesses of your competition, the threats of your competition, opportunities that lies in the market. And just let me talk a little bit more about this. Many of us, you want to start a business, and you want to become successful in doing business. You want to attain great wealth. But you think that by doing business is going to be the easiest path to attain wealth. The same thing that you're going after, there are many persons who want to go after those same dreams. They're going after the same things that you want, and believe me, they will play the game not the clean way. They will use every trick in the book to get there before you. I'm not telling you to use dirty tricks, but I'm simply telling you to be aware of the element of market forces that can prevent you from attaining your dreams and your hopes and your aspiration. And as you become aware of those forces, you have to be smart. And in being smart, it means that you have to think before your competition think. You have to take action before your competition take action, so as to ensure that you're one step ahead of your competition. And one way in doing that is to have a clear vision in terms of what you want to accomplish. You will have a clear vision of steps you need to take to accomplish your goal. But in taking those steps to realize your big idea, you need to take into consideration all of the SWOT analysis that is recommended. You just sit and you just spend time understanding what are the weaknesses of your competition. Yes, you need to invest time and resources into understanding all of the market forces. And when you understand those forces, you can then develop the best strategic system to integrate your products and your services into those markets. And I'm just giving you snippets of information that you need to move to that next level of growth and development and expansion in your field of business. I have so much more information to give you. The third characteristics that I want you to look at and really spend some time understanding is influencing the internal and external support systems. And what exactly do I mean by this? To nurture a successful organization, you have your internal team, and your internal team, they're your staff. And you have your external team, I'm going to call them team, that you also need to spend time understanding and ensuring that you have the right support system to appeal to their interests. But let me talk about the internal influence first. If you're a leader and you cannot influence your internal team to support your vision, you're certainly not the proactive leader that you ought to be. Because a proactive leader who wants to influence his internal team to support the big idea is the kind of leader who takes the time out to understand people, his team, based on their lifestyle and their cultures and their social groups and reference groups. He invests time to understand their needs and their wants and their expectations, and he ensures that that vision is not only his vision, but he ensures that the vision, the big idea that he wants to accomplish, becomes now an extended vision of those who are within that quality of circle. It's important for you to ensure that you can set that stage where your internal team are fully committed to support that vision. You know, many companies in the developed world did design and develop so many different strategies. The one that I want you to seriously consider is, how can you nurture a team? How can you influence your team to recognize that they are not your employees, but to recognize that they're a team player, they're a game changer, they're a dream maker, they're a trendsetter, and they are part owner of that big idea. You see, when you can get people to come to that point to accept the fact that they are part owner of the big idea, believe me, they are more motivated to function within that social setting. And this is something that you must invest in. I will give you so many more tips and techniques to make these things happen, to make this transition and transformation within your theme, within your quality of circle, within your network. The proactive leader takes the time to understand the motivational factors that can ensure that once he starts a theme, he's here to build a team for life. The reason many people doesn't become successful is simply because they don't understand these concepts. Most people going after success, they're thinking of success in the perspective of me, myself, and I. They are not looking at collective interests. They are not looking at representing people's interests. Real success is not built by focusing on individualism. Real success is built by focusing on collectivism. And we will give you all the tools and all the techniques to help you to understand how to build a system that truly reflects the collective interest. The fourth thing that I want you to look at, or the four traits and characteristics that I really want you to consider, is how you go about nurturing and developing a single innovation and idea at a time. And this is also one of the reasons why most ideas fail and why most brilliant initiatives fail. Because sometimes when we are going after success, instead of sitting and looking at one concept at a time and developing that concept from A to Z, we tend to look at multiple different initiatives. And because you're looking at multiple initiatives at the same time, it doesn't permit you the time to truly internalize that single project in terms of looking at ways in which you could add value to what you're doing, in terms of looking at how you can differentiate the quality of products and services that you're offering to the public. It doesn't give you the chance to understand how you can enhance and develop that product to way beyond the expectations of the final consumer. This is why it is advisable that you develop one concept at a time. In developing that one concept at a time, you want to ensure that that concept becomes the game changer, becomes a dream maker, becomes a trendsetter. You have to become the master of mastering your mind as it relates to developing one concept at a time. The reason you develop one concept at a time because you want to develop mastery in that concept, in that idea, in that big idea. And we will give you the tools and the techniques and the support system to take you to that next level of transformation in your life. The last concept that I will give you here today is proactive leaders are the kind of leaders that develop what is known as the no-fail policy framework. We don't have fail in our mindset. We don't have fail not because you are not likely to fail. You are likely to fail. But the reality is that the proactive leader thinks ahead, sees beyond the problem, and take action to influence desired results. So what that means is that you must, in developing your no-fail system, it simply means that you see all the areas that you can fail in. But what you do, you proact and you identify those systems that will ensure you achieve the end results that you're going after. This is the heart of proactive leadership. I want to say this also, there are many persons out there who, just as you're about to make your breakthrough, you give up. Because why? you reach a few stumbling blocks. I want to say this to you, that when a baby is born, that baby doesn't walk immediately. That baby doesn't run immediately. That baby, however, knows the natural metamorphosis of that baby is to creep and to walk and to run. The same principle applies to your business idea, to your big business idea. You want to become that millionaire. You want to become that billionaire. I want to say this to you, it's a process. And that process means that you have to stand up a little bit. You got to fall. You got to be prepared to fall a little bit. You got to be prepared to get a little bruises at some time. It's a part of the process. What you should never do is give up. You have to keep moving. When something good happens, you keep moving. When something bad happens, you keep moving. You never stop moving in the direction of definiteness of purpose. You know, this is what we talk about when we talk about a no-fail policy framework. In your minds, in your team mind, when you have definiteness of purpose, success is assured. There's so much more techniques that I want to give to you in order to help you to come to that point to make your financial breakthrough, to grow your business, to build a brand, and to leverage that brand across the world. It's important that you start to believe that you can come to that point of developing something of substance that has global relevance. I want to say this to you, so as a man thinketh, so is he. And if you think small, you're nothing but a small man. And if you think big, you're giving yourself the opportunity to tap into your greatness. You're giving yourself the opportunity to become the best brand of yourself. You're giving yourself an opportunity to come close to that point of self-actualization. Why should you allow people to define how you see yourself? Why should you allow people to define the level of success that you embrace? I'm saying this against the backdrop that I know that very often that when you make the decision that you want to achieve the big idea, the average person next to you says to you, you're in a bubble and you're in a dream. And they're saying that because they're average. And that's how average people think. You need to embrace those thoughts when they say to you and discard it immediately, because you know in your heart and in your mind that so as a man thinketh, so is he, and the dominant thought always manifests. Your dominant thought has a different perception of you. Your dominant thought is molded and shaped by a different reality, and that reality says that you're unique, you're gifted, and in your uniqueness and giftedness you are going after greater understanding of your deeper sense of self. Your deeper sense of self that says to you, I have a purpose, and I don't have a mediocre purpose. I have a supreme purpose. It says to you that I have passion. I have passion to serve in human development. I have passion to innovate new products and new services. I have passion to touch and transform the lives of people. You have passion. You have gifts. And believe me, if you commit enough to becoming the best brand of yourself, your gifts will manifest. I want to say this to you. When we give ourselves in service, it's the only way of finding self-fulfillment. It's the only way of embracing the massive financial breakthrough that you want in your life. It's important for you to build up your substance in alignment with who you are. But that substance of who you are is only relevant to you when you can leverage that substance to impact and transform and people's lives. Your substance is only relevant to you when you can leverage it to touch and transform and impact people's lives. What I'm saying to you, in other words, you must make a solid commitment every day of your life to leverage your abilities, to leverage your skills, to add value to every single human being around you. That's the only true and natural way to build wealth. The first wealth that you need to understand to build is the wealth of people. You know, the wealth of people translate into real wealth. Look at the most successful people in the world. They were fishers of men. And when you become fishers of men, all doors open. You know, in the Bible, we are taught this. When God told Peter, "Follow me, I'll make you a fisher of men." If you truly understand the significance behind that story, it is through men that all great things manifest. I will talk about the story. Do you prefer $1 million or do you prefer 1,000,000 men? The reality is that that $1 million cannot spend itself. That $1 million cannot make itself. Who makes money? Man makes money. Who causes money to multiply? Man makes money to multiply. Because why? When he earns, he spends it to you. And when you build up your substance in alignment with people's needs and hopes and aspirations, and they know that you're committed to serving in their holistic development, they make investment with you. So these are some of the billionaire codes that billionaires use to touch and transform people's lives. And I'm giving it to you so as to ensure that you can come to that next stage of development in your life. I need you to commit right here and right now to becoming the proactive leader. And I don't want you to say that you don't have the potential to do it. I don't care where you were born. I don't care where you're at right now. I want you to commit to open a new chapter in your life that says, I am moving in a direction that will help me to find myself, a direction that will help me to know my purpose, a direction that will cause me to embrace my passion, and my passion will become my gifts, and my gift will shine. I am moving in a direction where I can be financially free. I am moving in a direction where I can build the wealth of people all around me. I am moving in a direction to create leverage across the world. Make these commitments, my friend. Continue to follow me, and I want you to subscribe to this podcast. I will continue to bring you information that will take you to the next stage of development in your life. My name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the author of the book Self-Application Best Practices, Cracking Billionaire Codes, Transforming the Mind. My life purpose is to serve you. In serving you, my greatest task is to help you to awaken the giant within you. Each and every one of you, you have the potential to become great. But I want you to take baby steps every day of your life to honor who you are. Because as a human being, you're the greatest asset the world has ever known, and you're the greatest asset the world will ever know. You need to understand this. You need to believe this. And you need to live by that understanding. I will help you to understand three essential characteristics of yourself. The first is self-knowledge. The second is self-confidence. And the third is self-application. You must create marriage, a perfect union between self-knowledge, self-confidence, and self-application. Because it doesn't make sense to have self-knowledge and you don't have self-confidence. It happens a whole lot. We have some of the brightest people in the world that simply do not have self-confidence. We even have some people who have self-confidence, who can innovate things and nobody can tell them that they can't innovate it, but guess what? They're not applying themselves. They're not applying themselves to create leverage in touching and transforming lives of people around you, in touching and transforming people around the world. The tools and techniques that I will give to you will certainly take you to that next stage of development in your life. You know, every night I want you to commit to this. Every night and every morning, I want you to commit to what I'm going to say to you now. I want you to say to yourself that I will commit to become the best brand of myself. 1. I will commit to become the best brand of myself. I will not allow lies, doubts, and fear to prevent me from coming into my victory. I want you to commit to these things. Let's say it again. I will commit to become the best brand of myself. I will no longer allow lies, doubts, and fear to prevent me from becoming the victor of my success story. I will commit to self-knowledge. I will commit to self-confidence, and I will apply myself after achieving the greatest possibilities in life. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gary Thompson. I'm a business development consultant by profession. I'm a humanitarian by nature, and I'm the author of the book Self-Application Best Practices, Cracking Billionaire Codes, Transforming the Mind. I really enjoyed doing this podcast with you today. See you next time. Do enjoy.